they believe in heaven and earth and hell. They believe in the message of love. Christians believe in making money. But there are some Christians who hate every other belief system apart from what they believe in. And that is hypocrisy. So I have a couple of spoken word pieces that go in that manner. So, how dare you reverse his tapes? You twist his words to suit your claims, manipulating souls like the stock exchange. How can the haunted feel his love? Feel his love when you twist his love. Feel his love when you hide his love. Feel his love when you sell his love. I need someone to prove me wrong. You quote the Bible but preach your mind. Mislead the saved, lost, and weaker minds. You heal the sick but you charge a fine, extorting from souls without a dime. So we see people who are hard working. They are always working. They are able to make ends meet at the end of the day. They do a lot of work. They do a lot of hard work to make money. And then at the end of the day, you imagine a coconut seller who carry coconuts from Katamanto down to say Ugwash. And one coconut is for like 2 cedis. And he has carried about 40 coconuts in one basin. Then he's moving from Katamanto, hitting his basin with a cutlass. Crap. Then after doing all of that, it comes to a point where he gets 2 or 3 people to buy from him. And then all he has to do is to go to church for a fake prophet or a liar or an imposter to extort these monies from you. That is why I did the first one. If you didn't listen well, listen again. Because we have reversed the tapes. We have reversed the scriptures to suit our lives. So now it is free for a man of God to sit in a Lamborghini, to sit in a Rolls Royce, a Bugatti, to sit in a Mercedes Benz, and it is okay. What happened to the word of God? That it will be difficult for the rich to enter the eye of a needle. To enter into heaven than a camel to go through the eye of a needle. So I'm taking it again. You have to listen. So it says, how dare you reverse his tapes? You twist his words to suit your claims, manipulating souls like the stock exchange. How can the haunted feel his love? Feel his love when you twist his love. Feel his love when you hide his love. Feel his love when you sell his love. I need someone to prove me wrong. You quote the Bible, but preach your mind. Mislead the saved, lost, and weaker minds. You heal the sick, but you charge the fine, extorting from souls without a dime. So that coconut seller ends up with a profit of 4 cedis. But a fake man of God will take that 4 cedis using the same Bible. So this last one will be the prayer. So here again, dear Lord, I pray. Send your holy word as we proclaim your holy name. Bind us with your love. Protect us with your rod. Renew our daily bread. I think I've missed the line.
Take your time.
So, how dare you reverse the tapes? No. Here again, dear Lord, I pray. Send your holy word as we proclaim your holy name. Bind us with your love. Protect us with your rod. Renew our daily bread as you fortify us with your blood. I think I'll have to end here. I've missed the line. The line is not flowing.
Just anybody got some rhyme they want to do here before we move on?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Tell come and let's do this.
Yes. Ella.
What name are you using?
Ella. Her name is Ella.
Ella, okay, Ella. Ella, do you want to do it next another time? Ella, do you want to do another time? Okay, so Ella wants to do another time. And thanks for coming. I know this was some of you short notice. We're expecting a few more people, but we'll start anyway. How many people are familiar with Charlie Water? Charlie Water. How many people have been to the festival? Okay, so there's no way you would have missed the works of the gentleman who's coming to speak today, either from body painting, graffiti, street art, any aspect of it. Today we bring him here live to tell us about who he is, what he does, how he does it, where he sees himself in the future, and then the art of the street right here. He's originally from Nima. Anybody from Nima here? So let's give an AUCC welcome to Moh Awudu.
Hi guys. Hello.
Hi.
My name is Moh Awudu. I don't know how to call myself, who I am sometimes. But when the moment that I found that I found out I'm an artist, I cannot run away from that. So I'm a painter and a graffiti fine artist. I come from Nima in Accra, so when you know Nima, definitely you're gonna enjoy my story because it's crazy growing up there and the journey through art. And I think art has changed my life and art has saved me. So I'm here to share my experiences and my story. So hope you guys will get inspired to use whatever power you have in your hands or your life to change the world, because we all can contribute towards the development of our country and the world. So thank you.
Let's do that for Moh. Please, let's go with it. How did it start?
Oh, make you open your mouth.
Yeah. Or you want me to another something before we
No. After that.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. Okay.
Okay,
I also record.
we're good to go. Okay, this is actually a painting that I did around the Kandai with. For me, I'm always inspired by the environment, everyday life, my history, my culture, and the vision that I have. So whenever I'm walking around, I find something I feel like it's related to me. I need to put something there. So there's this wall, blank wall, where there's this tree with the leaves. So last time I was passing there going to Usu doing a project there, like 5 days. So when I was passing, I saw this wall, and the wall was always asking me, Mo, paint me. I was like, even when I go home at night, I'm feeling this pressure to do something there. So I went there a day or 2 days to do this, and I think it's on Instagram, viral all around the world. So it's on the wall, it's on the website for the world graffiti artists. So when you go there, you're gonna find this work. Next. Okay. This is a collaboration I did with an artist called Jenk. It's from France, at Alliance Française. I always wanted to paint women in my work. For me, society feels women are kind of like vulnerable. They are just good to give babies and be housewives. For me, women are the most powerful people. For me, we can argue, but I have my experiences. Because there's a time back, growing up in my community, Nima, I nearly stopped doing art through peer pressure around 2003. Yeah. Why? Because
I know everybody knows Sakao and all that. So I have a lot of friends who grew up. I know that I'm doing better than them, and these guys started to like get rich and all that. Then I was, I need to get that money fast and all that. So I started to like follow them and stop painting. I'm not just okay, go and take this money from West, they use my ID card and other stuff. So I nearly lost my root and my craft. And I think I met a lady who one day invited me to an art program. Because I stopped doing art more than 5 years, just doing other stuff to survive. And she said, oh, you need to come here and paint. We know you used to do art and other stuff. And I went there. I did a painting for 5 minutes, and somebody came there. Okay, Mo, are you done? I said, no, I'm not done yet. Okay, how much are you selling this way? I told her, okay, maybe 3,000 cities. Okay, I buy it. I just want it that way. That's when I knew that this is the only way out. That I can survive and I can channel my positive energy to the world. So from there, I met a lady there at the program. She's called Aidoo at the FC Foundation for Contemporary Artists. She told me, Mo, we have this program with the Brazilian embassy. It's called about Tabon. How many people know about Tabon? Tabon people. Tabon. You don't know it? Okay, Tabon people are Afro-Brazilians. After the slave trade, they brought them back to Africa. So they ended up at Jamestown. When you go to Jamestown, there's this house called Brazil House. So that's where they settle. And they have a lot of big people here in Ghana, but people don't know. So when you look at Azuma Nelson, his roots are from Brazil. He's like this William and Ronaldinho. So when you go to Brazil, there's this place called Bahia. That's where they come from. You see a lot of black people there. Azuma Nelson, Georgina Woods, and they started this tailoring Ghana for the police and the soldiers' uniform are being exported, imported from British,
China.
No, that time China, from UK. So they started. So you can do a lot of like research about these stubborn people. Yeah. So we went to they called me for the graffiti project. I met a lot of 2 Brazilian artists. One is called Alexandria Quito, one is called Pino. They are all international graffiti ambassadors. They've been around the world. You can check them on the internet. You see what I'm talking about. So from there, I started to have this belief. This is me. I started to this way I can express myself, and from there, I feel like women have this power to change. A young lady can just break your heart. I've been through that thing. So I feel like, that's how powerful men are. And it's high time we give them that attention and hope and make them believe that they can do a lot. This picture. I think I did this. When you go to Jamestown, you can see this. They asked me to come and put up an artwork because there was an artwork there, but I didn't clean it. I did a project with Guinness last year about Ghana at 60. I think they told me, okay, Mo, we wanted you to do an artwork celebrating Ghana's independence. And they are doing this promotion, giving people land. You want a raffle, like when you buy Guinness, when you read about there's this thing, you get a land at Apollonia City. So they called me to do an artwork. So, but they clean all this wall. And after the event, the people there in Jamestown, they asked me, okay, well, can you please come and do? And this is what I enjoy to do. And if you want to survive doing street art, you need to sacrifice a lot. And there are some places you need to paint. You need to go there. Maybe I have some cans at my studio. I'll just go there, put whatever I want. Or somewhere in the world, doing street art is kind of they feel it's illegal. People vandalize properties. But here, people appreciate what we do. So I decided to go there and do this. And it's I'll say I'll call this one district, one factory project, because the people in Jamestown, that's most of them, that's the place where they make their daily income. They use our artwork. When people are doing music videos, you can see these works on billboards. They are using it for advertisement and other stuff. Yeah, so for me, I just don't want to be an artist who only paints for galleries. I just want to make sure I use the art to educate the public and address social and public social issues, and still use the artwork to tell a story about myself, my country, my culture, and the vision that I have in me. So all the time, you can see when you go around Accra, somewhere in Kumasi, you see my artworks on the wall. I try to take advantage of these spaces that people put, where people put a lot of stuff there that the government has issued. So I use art to beautify the place, and people feel proud to have the place. So for me, I always feel proud doing this. Is it all?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, it's on my goodness. Okay, it's back. It's back.
Okay, that's why I paint women, because they always have an impact in my life every day. I think last year I traveled to Brazil. I'll show you the artwork that I did there. The trip was sponsored by a lady who always buy paints, and one thing that she told me, Moh, I see that you have potential. You have you're going to be a great person in life, and so definitely I have to support you. So if it's a lot, because people ask these questions all the time. Why do you paint women in your artwork? And the next exhibition that I'm going to have is called Feminists, Not Feminist. Because nowadays in our society, people have this issue about feminist. Somebody can just tell you I'm a feminist. Means to them to just disrespect, have this power of disrespect. For me, it's wrong. For me, the way I can express feminist is having this belief to bring out your inner power, to have that power to change, to do stuff that men does. So can we go to the next? Okay, when you go to Jamestown, you see these these wings. I always do these wings. Whenever you see a wing in this world, I started doing it, especially not wings, butterfly wings, because I have my own reasons of doing this butterfly. Because when you look at butterfly, the process of butterfly from caterpillar, it is kind of ugly, and it grows to a beautiful, colorful butterfly that has freedom to go anywhere. So for me, I think it doesn't matter where you come from or where you start in your life. Just have this believe in yourself, like the way the butterfly is from ugly caterpillar and to a beautiful butterfly that has freedom to change. This guy has a picture of this on his phone, yeah. Yeah, and these things too, when I do them, people apart from people of Jamestown using it for their daily basis, they use it to for their income. I always like do tours, like graffiti tours. People call me outside, like, yo, Mo, we are coming to Ghana, we are coming to do a tour with you. And I chat them, because in Brazil, like a place like Brazil, they have a place called Alma Mater. Is the biggest graffiti community. When you go there on the floor, up there on the sea, like everywhere, it's artwork, and that's what generates a lot of fun for the Sao Paulo community. And I had a discussion with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, the mayor. They all like agree with my vision, the vision that I have for Accra. Next picture. Okay, this I did this at Charlie Hotel last year. Are you familiar? The team, what's the team last year?
Is it Watermelon?
It's not.
Para.
Yeah, Paraoda, yeah. Yeah, I did this at Charlie Hotel last year. I think it's about emancipation. Now, when you look, some people somewhere that do like this still slave trade is going on somewhere. But for me, the biggest threat that we have is we need to free our mind, have that belief. That's the most important. So there's this. I was inspired by this song from Bob Marley, "Emancipate Yourself from Mental Slavery." Yeah. So when you know that song, when you listen to that song, you understand this word. We all need to unlock that chain in our brain, because I used to have that problem of scared to say my mind, like to speak up and to do other stuff, because some people just have problems because of religion or tribal issue, or like. So for me, that's ever since I break that chain from my mind, I begin to explore, and that's why I'm here. Because from where I come from, when you draw, when I do figurative, I hope you know figurative, I like painting picture. There's these malams, they come and tell you, yeah, Mo, what you are doing is around. Because when you die, God will tell you that you should put life to that drawing. And I was kind of disturbed. I was asking you should quote and bring up an issue, blah 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 blah. Then I just used I read some scriptures, and so these guys, they don't know what they are saying. They don't know what they are saying. So ever since I break that chain, I'm free now. I express myself the way I want to do. So this work, I call it emancipation, and I did it with some other artists. This is from a Nigerian girl, she's called Amina, and a guy who did the eye and the eyes is called Kali, and this guy, Kofi Buchi. Yes, we did this collaboration. Yeah, yes. Okay, okay, this I put myself in this picture because this is what I see every day in the urban life. So this is a new technique, identity. In art we call it technique. So everybody, you just need your technique. It's like music. It's like music, or it's like dancing. You need your flow. You need your own identity to stand up. So I'm always inspired by my surroundings, and when you go to where I live, you see these houses. In Nima, there is this triangle houses from the ceiling, these geometric signs. So I'm always inspired from that geometric side of the houses. So when even some of our communities, we have those houses out the way we put here, those down houses. Before this, the ceiling where that angle is. So I use that kind of. I took inspiration from that side of the building to create this style. So I call this work Eba Knife, where I have my eyes watch and look at things that is happening, because from my community, that's where this Tramadol issue started. I started to bring out this issue. I did a work about that before, even I think 3 years ago, before they started bringing it on the news. So I have my eyes and I see things that people don't pay attention to. So I can tell you stories that is happening in my community. When I say it, then they get mad. And who is going to speak it? If I even say nobody, because I'm an artist. Once you are an artist and you break up that chain, you need to say the right thing, even if it costs your life. Some places in the world, they arrest artists and other stuff. So I'm trying to make a change. So next picture. Okay, this is one of my body arts that I do. I'm trying to bring out the inner colors that we have inside us. We are covered with skin like these nice skins, but we have a spirit in us. So sometimes in our artistic world we call it spirit robots. We are spirit robots. But the problem with spirit robots is we handed the remote to some people, like what's happening in Ghana now. You can just decide, give you the time that you have to sleep, time that you have to iron your clothes. When they are doing so, you have to control your time. Some people are somewhere controlling your life. That's what's happening in this world. They will let you believe what they want you to believe, right? So it's high time we bring out our inner spirit here. Next. I think this is water matter. Yeah, when they say water matter, some people say it's one water, but it's still about the inner spirit that we have in us. And it's not just water. I did a water around that lady that represents like the blood that we have in us. Because without blood, I don't think we can survive. And she's a powerful woman. That's the definition of a feminist. Not what these celebrities are doing. It's not feminist. Feminist is, she just won a case for Ghana about this oil stuff. Yeah, so that's the people we need to learn from, not just these celebrities. No, they are not doing anything. Last week we had a forum about creative arts at the information center. When I stood up and told them there are these musicians out there, and I stood up and I told them, when people come here, they don't normally watch these movies, they don't care. People want to see good stuff, and when they come, they just want to go to places where the art is. That's where other people make money from, through these arts. Not just, they're just focusing on music, this performing arts, music and movie. That's what they know there. And I told them, you need to support the visual artists, the street artists, because we have a lot of like programs that we want to do, but there's no support. They just give money to these celebrities, just wasting money. But through street arts or doing murals, they can help everybody. You can see what is happening in Jamestown. We have events like Afrochella. Now, any program that they do without, they call artists to come and print their life, because they know the impact that sweetheart or mirror does add their flavor to their event. So it's high time. That's the moment you break that chain, you can face anybody, tell them the truth, and they know that it's the truth. Trust me, they know that it's the truth. So next picture. Okay, this is one of my favorite work. I think this is Jamestown. I always go there, and their culture and history is about fishing and boxing. When you go there, ask Henry. When you go there, even if you are bringing money, bringing somebody to invest there, they'll tell you Anushka. And everybody there, their mind is money, and what they know is we just do boxing and fishing. So for me, you need to move out from your comfort zone. So still own your culture and your background. So I did this artwork that you can see the kid has a canoe in his hand, and you can see the lighthouse by sitting in Calabash. And when you go to Jamestown, you don't have trees that produce Calabash. You don't deal with Calabash, and the water is there. So they need to move away. Move out from their comfort zone, and the people that move out from their comfort zone in Jamestown are doing good. People like Manche, the guy who's organizing Charlie Wooden, other Mr. White, and these people, they are doing good in the country. So we all just need to move out from our comfort zone, because I come from Niwa. When you are there, they already write a narrative about us. Oh, once you're from Nima, you are a thief. If you are not a thief, you're a cowboy, you are a landlord. Because both Tramo and all that, Tramo and all that, all these people, these vigilantes, I know 80% of them, some of them grew up together, some of them are my friends, close friends, and that's the only way out. That's what they think, and that's what other people think. Because me going out, I meet a lot of people when they are having a program. They just call me, Mo, please, can you get us some guys when mafia this situation, MTN, Vodafone, they call me, Mo, please, we need some guys. And before I used to just give them contact. I think last 3 years, when they called me, I told them, well, the guys now they are invested, they are doing better jobs, so they stopped calling me. But still, the problem is there. That's why we're still working hard to inspire the young ones coming. Yeah.
Okay, before you move, let's understand what symbolism is. Okay, what do people mostly use calabash for apart from drinking? Begging. Yes, but here you are with all this wealth. You're sitting in calabash. No. Yes.
So you want me to just read
utilizing the resources.
Yeah, let me just start.
Okay, with the calabash, people use calabash as a ritual. When I was growing up, there's these malams in my house. They have this ink that they used to write this spiritual stuff. So they just put it in my hands like this. You need to be a virgin before they can do that thing. So you just put that thing.
How old were you?
7 years, 8 years ago. 10 years old. I was 10 years. Yeah, I know. They put it at your back like this. Then the guy will stand at your back, reciting stuff. And sometimes they use calabash. They put water. They recite some stuff. Then you see some some dwarfs. Yes. So when I tell you I've been through I see this a lot. So
But I beg, if they bring a calabash, everybody will pass.
I don't know, no, nobody will pass. Yeah, but me, I don't know how to do. You just use us. That time we don't. You put it in our hands, then you'll be reciting stuff. Then you see some things like shadows of like a human being or something. Then you just be asking the deep question, but you know here, maybe you will be listening to it. So they use calabash as a spiritual stuff. So it's something that you can use, happily you can use, because they don't do calabash stuff at Jamestown, but it's something that you need to have belief that can take you to out from your comfort zone, not the canoe or ship or anything. You can just move out from your comfort zone. So you can see I think there are books in he has a book with education. With education, that's what will help you go out from your comfort zone. Next. Yeah, I think this is the Guinness project. They asked me to, when they give me a piece of land in Ghana, what will I use it for? So for me, as part of my vision, sometimes I stay away from my culture and think about what is going to happen in the next 30 years, next 5 years. So I'm a futuristic artist too. So this is Accra for you. I try to think Accra in the next 30 years, where maybe one day we'll have a female president or a vice president. We'll have buildings like this, skyscrapers, and we'll have flying taxis. This guy, I think he spoke about this in his poem, the first one that I did. Yeah, where other people are trying to develop, we are still. We have to have that belief. Kantaka is doing something, and I'm doing a public project too with the mayor, where I'm going to paint the people who are doing better stuff. Like their problem is, don't put this guy because of politics and all. But I just told him, people like Kantaka, we need to start celebrating. We don't need to wait for him to die first. We have that culture. We want people to die first before we celebrate them, which for me is fake. So I just tell him, Mr. Mayor, I can't, if I want to do something, I just want to do something. I don't care about this. If he send people and this. You see, I call Marietta because she did a very good job, and she won a case for Ghana in Paris. Yeah, and everybody is going to benefit from it. Next. Wow, this is the butterfly. This is for Samsung S8 launch. And we had a discussion about the S8. About the S8, the new features, and they told me now you can use your eyes to open up the phone, blah 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 blah, and all these things are futuristic stuff. And so I decided to get people connected to my work. So I did my famous butterfly to represent where people can have believe in themselves. They can move from away from being caterpillar to butterfly with beautiful wings and live in that beautiful city. Next. Yeah.
So you are
this artwork, I don't normally like, because I'm tired of answering questions. People, this artwork, when I post it, like, people have questions. Hey, your name is Mohammed, and okay, today you enjoy our explain stuff. Okay, we know as Ghanaians, or human beings, we just forget about things that happens. Look at what happened in Circle, like people from my community, when small drizzle, people just start bringing out trash and putting in the gutter, and like we have social issues that people don't even, when you are driving, you can see potholes that can just kill you when you are driving, cause accident, but you don't pay mind. Like when you look at what happened at the gas explosion, they know the problem. Last time I was driving, there's this driver, I asked him to go back. The guy can't go back because he's clutch and he can't go reverse. This guy can just kill him. And people knows, people, we all know, they know about that thing, and people, authority know. And they don't take any action on it. And when something happens, oh, Ebony, she had an accident. The same thing that caused Ebony's accident. When you go to Kandahari right now, they put that sand, thin sand. When you are driving, you don't take care your car, you get into and like there are a lot of things, and we all just forget about the cause of the problem. So as I decided, okay, 2018 or 17, yeah, 17 rather. What happened during like that year? Like we have this Nivea. When you follow social media, Twitter or you see, you have this Nivea stuff. You have this John Dumelu's V8 stuff. We have Ebony. We have a lot of stuff. I wish I can see. We have this. If you have Schwarzenegger issue with this, like in Japan, and people we just I wanted to like use artwork as the lady's body as a canvas or a communication tool to talk to people. I know when the moment you see a naked woman, your attention you just have attention. I think everybody, because when you saw the picture, everybody was like, oh, like my boss here, they're going to talk. So using your body creates attention for people to listen or to go back to what happened. So the moment when you, I think I have another picture. The moment you see her, you know that, oh, what's happening? She get attention to you, and you just trying to read what I write in your body. So for me, art is a tool for communication. It's the biggest thing that you can use to communicate. You understand? Art is the only way you can use to communicate to people. Yeah, next picture. Okay, this is I'm doing as part of this negative narrative about why I come from Nima. So I decided to start this project called Reimagine Nima. How people will start imagine us as on a different perspective. So I'm doing this project. It's called Reimagine Nima, where I defy the walls of Nima, which I greet a lot of tourists like come to Nima every day. I think tomorrow I have a tour with some American people. I will be more. So sometimes when I do tours per person, if it's 2 hours, $100 for that. So you can still use your arts to change, communicate, educate people, and still make money out of it. So I'm doing this. When you go to Nima now, the walls are changing. What's that changing with that? Yes. Okay, I did this at, you see, this is what I was telling you about. June 3rd disaster in Circle. You know, that's the June 3rd disaster. You see what happened. And yeah, it has happened. We just need to learn from it. We are the cause of all these things. I'm part of it. I don't lie to you. Sometimes I just take some rubber back, you put some, I just put it outside. Yeah, I'm part of it. Sometimes you just, this plastic waste problem. So we are all part of it, and the change will come from us. And then I write this message. Sometimes it takes a natural disaster to reveal a social disaster. Yeah, so we took a natural disaster to know that that place, our gutters are like choked, and that place there's leakage and all that stuff, and the change come from us. So I think this work, I sold it for the Attorney General, Dominic Ayeni. I sold this artwork for him. He saw it and he was more bring it, and 2 people wanted to buy. I stopped repeating work from like where I'm going now. When you have my artwork, you have a property, and I'm expensive now, so I don't repeat work.
So let's do that for God. Let's start taking that thing back. Kale, can you believe what the journey this man has been through? You didn't say anything about the history of graffiti in Ghana. You want to just say a little quick one? Oh, is there a picture for the history of graffiti?
Yeah.
But is that what the end of it?
That's the end.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just the history of graffiti.
Okay.
And then we'll pin that thing for questions.
Okay, the history of graffiti art here in Ghana. I'm one of the pioneers, because I can't say, because I don't know what other people are doing somewhere. So, but I'm one of the pioneers. I started. Graffiti is being inspired by hip hop music. Yeah, music is one of the elements of hip hop. Hip hop graffiti is one of the elements of hip hop. So when you want to do graffiti, you need to have a space. You need to have a flow. There's some, the guy that I told you I met in 22, Fabio Pino. When he came to Ghana, I think only 5 of us are doing graffiti. They just bought 5 of us. We think like, oh, we know how to do these letters. We can just use brush, create some letters. So when we had that project, that's the evolution of Ghana, graffiti in Ghana.
Who are other partners?
Yeah, we have Ian Kwachi, we have Jawai, we have yes, no, they just come back.
But it's an Accra thing.
Yeah, before that's the pioneers in 22. Because that time, I think the Foundation for Contemporary Artists, they just call everybody individual, people that they know they are doing graffiti. And when we came there, most of the guys, some stop, some are still. I try to like let them believe that.
Give it up for the pioneers. But I've always been wondering, I mean, this is all beautiful and all, but Nima is still in a mess. That can art change society? Yeah.
Yes, Nima is still in the mess, and Nima is still in the mess. But the best thing is to change the mindset of the people in Nima. Because me, whenever I wake up in the morning, I live in a roundhouse. There's a white guy here, a fanti, a gun, a Hausa, a person from Mali, a person from Nigeria. When I just get out from my room, you just see different characters, different culture, the way people live. So for me, what the change Nima is now is changing. Now we have a lot of people going to school, like coming to university. Before, when some people, when I have friends and their parents will just tell me, when my daughter is 14 years old, she just needs to get married. But now that thing has changed. Everybody wants to see his daughter or his son like go to the university, have their like PhD. So before, I used to have these t-shirts design that I do. It's called University of Nima. You can see Polaris wearing, VIP are wearing. University of Nima is not a structured, community or something that I did. It's something I want to push in people's mind, where people like myself move out from their comfort zone. Like, I really go to university. Me, I just finished my basic course. I I I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't go to the what I want then because when I was like very young, around 12 years, I do like the final year exams for these SS students. Every year, they just bring me their final year work. I was very like in primary school. I do artwork for them too, for their. Yeah, they pay me. I do their artwork for them. That's their final year exam project work.
This is incredible. You guys, I know you have a lot of questions that you want to ask. Yeah, so, first question, where's it coming from? Mr. Wells. I'm looking.
I want to find out, since it's your idea and it's a dream for you to change your community like Nima, do you have some training or let's say a studio where you look out for these young guys in the community who are being swayed or influenced by this tramadol or fraud lifestyle? Are you trying to bring some of them together to train them to know the benefits of graffiti and arts?
Yeah, I have myself and some artists in Nima, that Musa Swala and Amin Gali and Nicolas Wayo, we artists from Nima, but one day we decided, okay, we didn't have this opportunity to where somebody would just teach us. Before, when I just take my when I was growing up, I would just go to an art studio, maybe pay the guy who is painting just to stand there and watch him. So I didn't get opportunity. Somebody called me to instruct me or direct me or to do stuff. So we decided the opportunity that we didn't have when we are growing up, we need to give back to the community. So we have these Saturday classes that we bring up these kids together. I always do it even today. I have to like do with the kids, but these days I'm kind of like busy. I'll just tell them go and draw. I'll just bring them stuff. So I'm trying to use art to move them away from other stuff because from my experiences, when I was a very young kid, people just give me stuff, go and give it to this guy, but not knowing it is cooking. You know, so that's how everything started. People they just tell you, okay, you see a big brother, so my boss, go and give this to this guy. You don't know it's okay, or you come and help me. You take a matching stuff, put something on a foil paper, you wrap it up. I used to wrap okay, but I don't know it's a okay. So that's how things started. Like there are people in our community. They can just have, oh, this is my small boy, my boss working. Come, go and buy me this thing. Okay, you want to try it? That's how it was started. So for me, I'm trying to move the kids away from that, so engage them in a positive thing. So sometimes I get visitors outside the world, they bring stuff to the kids. Then even their parents will just tell them, look at follow this guy's steps, because when you look at my words, I just go places that sometimes I can just sit down and drop tears. I sit down with big men that I always have vision. When can I meet these people? But sometimes an ambassador can just call me, Moh, let's have a coffee. The mayor will call me, Moh, meet in my house, let's have a breakfast. All these people, I just meet these people through my craft. And it's not me, but sometimes people just forget. It's God that's direct us, it's not your power. But we all have to do a God's ways. I have this thing in my head. You don't have to own a big position in society before you can change the world. So these words that I have is always in my mind. So I try to use art to move away these kids from the bad things. I try to use art to communicate my experiences to the public. I try to use art to tackle like social issues. I try to use art when I go outside Ghana. I use my artwork to tell people more about Ghana. When I went to Brazil, my artwork, I used it. I did a lady with this African turban, which I call it a Tabon woman. And I asked them, do you know Tabon people? They say no. Then that's where I started to tell them history about these Afro-Brazilians in Ghana. And I was there, the mayor of Sao Paulo came there. He was looking for me. Who is that? Where is that African boy? And he wanted to like know more. And I went to a university there in Sao Paulo and give a speech there about Tabon people, the Afro-Brazilians. So now the Brazilian ambassador is what it was like. They called him from Brazil to look for more. Who are those Afro-Brazilians? Blah 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 blah. So they find out Azuma Nelson, Georgina Okus, and others. So now they have, I think they have their chief. So now I made them through my communication outside the world. I made the Brazilians in Brazil are connected with their people here in Ghana. So that's the power of that.
Before you answer the question, where can they want to follow you? Where can they reach you?
I'm on Instagram, Moh Awudu, MOH,
Okay, Moh has Instagram, Facebook. Facebook, the last time
So you see,
yeah.
this one, you see what is happening there. The back, this is in Brazil.
Okay, so the Queen wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'll try to say a good job
Thank you.
done. All the best. At what point did you realize that you're an artist? That's one. And the second question is, what drives you apart from where you're coming from?
Yeah, first question, thank you. When I realized when the time that Azuma Nelson was a world champion, that time, that Zoom time, I can recall I'm very young. I can't even draw well, but I use chalk on this blackboard. That blackboard, you have that 1, 2, 3, and slate here. This here, this here. Slate. So I used to draw this, have imagination of a boxer. Then I draw a glove like a figure like Azuma Nelson. When my dad is sitting down with his friends, listening to a radio, way back, that's around 1990 or 92, because I was born in 1982. So around 1990, I was very young. I knew that I used to draw and I tried to scrape wall. Like when your kids are scraping your walls in the house, don't get mad at them. That's how the thing starts. And I scrape my daddy's wall and all that. That's how it all started, because you have something new that you want to bring out and try to experiment. And secondly, what drives me as an artist apart from my community? For me, everyday life, what is happening today, I listen to the vice president, those kind of things just inspire me. I just shadows even when I'm sleeping, when I'm walking, music that I listen. Sometimes when it's raining, I'll just stand in the rain like this, looking at the drops, or I like to hear the sound of the wind from my house, like the way these irons in titties. So that's I'm just the artist in me is something that I can't like. I before when I started, I told you I ran away from the art. See, I ran away, but the art saved my life because that's me. And right now, I don't need to go and just do research or something before I can create something. I can just create something right now from my mind. I already have looking at trees and inspiration. Maybe things that you don't even give attention to. I always find it. You can say I can be looking at a lady, but not because of sexiness or something. But I have my eyes are somewhere trying to figure out what is inside there. When she's walking, what is happening? How does stuff change?
Yeah. Do you think university, obviously you've done very well for yourself.
That's some. Yeah.
Do you think university education is a waste?
Never. Sometimes I regretted because my dad used to work at the Barclays Bank as a cleaner, So because I was very good in school. So we tried to give me scholarship to go to because after junior I went to this art school for 3 months. In 2 months I started teaching there. So they gave me I was paying them the school fees and I'm taking my thing back. So it was crazy and the people that inspired me, they always say, forget about these university guys. Because I can just do anything that I want. There are some artworks, I just use my iPhone to do it. Yes, absolutely. I think in Ghana I'm the first guy who started using and still using.
We should bring you here to show just that technology. You had a question here.
Yes. I wanted to know how lucrative is this? Can you live strictly by street art? Or you're doing something else apart from street art?
Yeah. I want to tell you that art still saves my life. When I look at myself back then, when I look at the people that would even think they are doing good in life, it's crazy. I appreciate art. Art got me here. Last time when he posted about me coming, I posted it. Everybody in the Zongo community, ask them, they are sharing it. Because people, you can't use money to get this kind of opportunity. I traveled to Brazil without a dime. I didn't use somebody who just called me, take this $1,000, 500. How much is the plane ticket? You buy it for me. Through my hard work, I bought a car. Not like last year, this year, early January, I bought another one. I have.
Question, please. Don't tell what a Lamborghini. What's your name, please? Sorry. Yeah, this guy. Go on.
So, as an artist, what are some of the challenges that you went through before this day?
Challenges. We still facing the challenges, and well, sometimes I call Henry's name because Henry is my good friend that I know for a long time. Sometimes when I spark, it's one guy.
Attention.
Sometimes when I spark, there are the people who just cool me down. Because I try to fight for other people, not just for myself. When I have calls from big companies, I work with the UN, a lot of companies. So when there are some opportunities, I try to give it to others. Like example, like Charity, people try to use artists, they don't want to pay them. Musicians want to use your works to do music videos. Companies want to use your artwork for advertisements, and there's nobody there to talk to them, like, or to say, to have to fight for the artists. So my challenge is the public need to respect the artists, especially Ghanaians. The leaders, they don't respect the artists. They don't care about only the foreign. When you are working with the foreigner, they understand what you do. But Ghana, we come and put your experience, blah 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 blah. We just want this thing. So sometimes I have, before I take any job, but now I just take jobs that I think is okay for me. Sometimes I do free works for people. I give out all the time, but I make sure you won't cheat me. I'm not that kind of like, before we are starving artists, but now starving artists, then starving artists on the starving, then I block my hand, so I'm not a starving artist, but I fight for people, and it's hard when you start, and let me tell you something, when you want to be an artist, first thing, you have to know that you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice before people know who you are, what you can bring out. Because growing up, I was with these musicians, Shatawali, VIP. These people, they are all my friends, Sarkodie. Before they become Sarkodie, we used to hang out. You see me, small boy. Bulari is my guy. When you know Bulari, you understand my journey. We all started when we have nothing. Today, when they see me, they feel like, you stop doing t-shirts. And I told them, no, I channel my niche. Who did this way? Then they tell them, it's Moh Awudu. So you face challenges, people will cheat you, but just have your focus. When you get to the limelight, they will give you your respect.
Don't forget Moh Awudu. Make sure you're on there.
David, please, how long does it take you to finish an artwork?
Artwork is crazy. For me, since last week I was having problem with myself, like with my inner spirit. So I met this artist. I think he did an art talk at Tbilisi. The artist, is a Tunisian artist. Yeah. So when he was, I was sitting down like David. When he was sitting down, telling his story and telling the way he is, then everybody in the room say, "Moh, hey, Moh, 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 Moh." You know why? Because he said artists are people who have this. They say your art is worrying you. I don't know. The art is not worrying me. I have too much passion. When you have too much passion, you want to make sure the thing is done well. Yeah, proper. So sometimes I can start a work if I'm not in that mood to do it, I'll just leave it. But there are some works you need to find that mood yourself. So that's why you see some artists they smoke weed, some people try to do something, so that will just twist their mind. That's why you see artists, musicians, some people just smoke weed, drink alcohol before they get in the mood. But me to find my mood, I just need to sleep. Even if I have a work to do, I can't sleep well because I have that thing in my mind. Even if I'm sleeping, I just be thinking about it. I get free and finish my work when I'm done. When I feel my spirit tells me that I'm okay. But if you listen to yourself, if the artwork is not done, you know, if you are a creative person, if you listen to yourself, you feel like something needs to be added here. And sometimes I'm a rapid thinker too. I do rapid thing. I can just do the audio program, 20 minutes. I can just do an ad there. You have to learn how to paint fast and sometimes know how to take time to paint. So you have to know yourself because we're in Africa, you need to survive. Nobody will give you $500,000 for an artwork here. Some places but the artists here they sell $10,000, $20,000. That one you can take you 2 months, 3 months to finish the work. But once you just want to get to that money, the next one you need to share your time.
So that was Moh Awudu. Hopefully, very soon you'll be coming back here to do something. Maybe you come and do some classes here.
Yeah.
So, okay, don't forget, next week, Wednesday, we have our usual open mic Wednesdays, drum stuff, guitars and stuff. And then the Wednesday, we also have, what do we have on Wednesday? Whatever, we'll confirm it. But Thursday, any of you guys who are interested in film, radio, shooting, whatever, we're bringing an expert to talk about how to use your cell phone to make award-winning movies. This is crazy, but it's only 15, 20 minutes. You gotta be here. Thursday next week. Okay, so with your permission, I'm so happy that you came anyway. With your permission, I just want to give Moh and the UCC Aidoo listen, we really appreciate it. I mean, we should have given him some of the dollars he was talking about, but you know this probably worth more. But they say, yeah, so both should take this to Nima and do some graffiti out of the motherland. Thank you.